Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. This is Michael Siggins. I am the publisher of Channel Pro, and I want to thank everybody for joining us today for our live webinar presentation. Today's topic is Microsoft's Advisor Program is dying, and what should MSPs do next? That's a great question, and answering that question and many others today will be Anthony Graziano, and he's Director of Partner Business Development with SherWeb. Before we get going, I just want to cover a couple of housekeeping items that will make sure that you all get the most out of the event today. We're going to run about an hour, so hopefully you've planned accordingly. And when you participate by asking questions and getting a dialogue going, that always makes these webinars really better for everybody involved, including the presenter today. So we encourage you to participate via the chat window. You can find that down in the lower left of your browser window. We will be answering as many questions as time allows. One of the most popular questions is going to be, will the slides be available? And I can answer that right now, yes. We will be sending a follow-up email after the event wraps up, and you'll get access to that deck and any of the materials that we have there. So hopefully I saved a few folks from typing right there. So without further ado, I'm going to pass things off to Anthony Graziano. Anthony, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Michael. And on behalf of SherWeb, I'd like to thank Channel Pro and all you folks out there who've decided to spend your lunch or your early afternoon with us to talk about the Microsoft Advisor Program, how it's going away, and what are some good options that you as MSPs, as IT consultants should think about as possible next steps as you look to serve your customers. So let's kick this off by, first I'd like to introduce, who SherWeb is and what we do. And we are pretty unique in a space in that we are a born-in-the-cloud company. So we come about this I've always been servicing our partners and their customers in the cloud. And we started off as a web hosting company back in 1998, had transitioned our services line, our products line, really focusing on Microsoft and our own proprietary technology, serving customers and partners in over 100 countries. We made the move to become a Microsoft Tier 2 CSP partner here over a year ago, and have seen tremendous growth in our business as we service partners who are transferring and transitioning their businesses to the cloud. As a company, we have almost 400 employees that are fully staffed to both take care of all of your support, operations, migration, sales, marketing needs as partners and customers. And we manage over 300,000 mailboxes worldwide, along with over almost another 100,000 on top of that are with us through the Microsoft CSP program. So a really strong footprint in the cloud, and so we feel we're well positioned with Microsoft and within their partner community to talk about how we can help you out as you look for options with the Advisor Program kind of going away here with Microsoft. So what we'd like to cover is, kind of talk to you a little bit about the changes to the Microsoft Advisor Program, and I'm going to venture a guess that many of you on this call are probably intimately aware of what's going on with that, so this shouldn't be a lot of new news for you, but we'll talk about that. Touch on what are some alternatives for you as partners who are used to selling Microsoft Advisor, what you can do as a cloud solution provider, a CSP, within the Microsoft world. What are some options for you? And some tactics that we've seen that are proven to help you maximize your profits in this transition. So how you can make the most money servicing your customers in the cloud as you transfer away from the advisor model. So to kick this off, what I'd like to ask you is a quick question, poll question. I've got a number of these throughout. Is if you are a Microsoft Online Services Advisor currently, I'd love to hear from you if you are. So if you wouldn't mind just taking a second there and clicking yes or no. If you are an Online Services Advisor of Microsoft, would love to get your responses there. So I'll give everyone a second to answer. And it looks like right about, we've kind of got almost an even split. So almost half have said yes, and the other half have said no. So interesting there. So good feedback. Thank you for sharing that with us. So what I'd like to do now is dig into the first part of our presentation around the changes to the Microsoft Advisor program. So what, the Microsoft Advisors, what we've historically seen, through our relationship with Microsoft is there are really two common types of people who have been fulfilling this role. One are full-on managed service providers where you're the trusted IT advisor to your customer. You're also providing a range of IT services for them, and you're billing your clients directly for those reoccurring services. Some of the challenges you as MSPs have faced with this now is that advisor commissions, as you're well aware, have dramatically decreased, and you do not have that ability to bill your clients directly for the services they're getting from Microsoft. You can't directly support them, provide your support services to them, and you're kind of having to sell, your managed services separately from the Microsoft suite that's available as an advisor partner. The other kind of partner we see as an advisor is typically that you're IT consultant. You've maybe got a specific expertise in a business field or a vertical. You're billing your clients for one time or for specific projects, maybe not doing their support and billing for them. And then again, you're suffering as well as similarly to the MSPs around the low ongoing margins for the advisor program. You also risk losing those customer relationships over time since you're not controlling that Microsoft contract or services line, and you're not able to bundle in some other services. So two different ways that we see partners who are our advisors are, challenged by the advisor program. So over time, what was once a very lucrative program, if you go back to fiscal year 13, there were some great numbers where you could, sell, make 12%, add on accelerators, another 4 to 7%, and make an ongoing percentage to manage those customers, where this was truly a very, lucrative program where you can make a lot of money selling Office 365, having the customer have that direct bill relationship with Microsoft, but you were still getting that ongoing residual. Over fiscal year 2014, kind of still holding steady into 2015, and then really it's of late, starting here in this past year, this current year I should say, 2016, and moving into 2017, where we see Microsoft is dramatically changing the compensation model for the advisor program, where first in 2016, it decreased to 8%, the accelerators reduced to 4%, and then management to 3%. And now into 2017, where there's now going to be a hard stop on that sell 3% that you're eligible for, which will end in 2017. So with all that business you have and new business going forward, now it comes the time of figuring out, well, now what can I do with these relationships that they may have where I've sold Microsoft Office 365 and services to them. So you could see that, when we first presented the 2016 date has kind of passed, and so now we're really full on into the fiscal year 2017 piece, where it's really going to be that 3% residual for advisor commissions, and then thus ending. So now, you as partner, what are some transition steps? What are some things that are coming down the pike? Because again, this is clearly a statement that Microsoft has talked about, and one of the reasons why the birth of the Cloud Solution Provider or CSP program has come along. So you can see the changes are in line with their strategy to move towards more modern offers such as CSP or Microsoft Products and Services Agreement, where you're potentially owning and reselling these services to your customers versus the traditional advisor model. So transitioning now to what are some alternatives as we look at the Cloud Solutions Provider program for you as an MSP or an IT consultant? Well, first, let's just look at the CSP or Cloud Solution Provider program. And the idea behind this, and really one that SherWeb really supports as a Tier 2 enabler of CSP. So our goal, our function is to really enable partners within the CSP program to help them sell all the Office 365, Azure, Dynamics services, empower them to add their own value-added services on top of that, have multiple sales service motions in place. So not only Office 365, which has certainly gained major traction in the marketplace, but also new services and products coming down the line from Microsoft, so Azure and Dynamics. This program is really meant to increase your trusted advisor status with your customer, to put you closer to them versus just selling and making a quick commission off of that ongoing. And then really want to drive scale and increase efficiency. So when you're talking about the CSP program, you're talking about things like dropping in additional services to your business model to support this, to sell across this, to be able to bill these kinds of services and to grow out and scale. So Microsoft's goal is to really see, partners be able to do this to increase the whole footprint of Microsoft's solution set. So now there are many partners that are going to be closely managed by Microsoft that will be enabled as Tier 1 CSPs. But again, SherWeb, our role is to really not only work with those Tier 1s that maybe don't want that support, do it themselves, but also all the unmanaged partners that Microsoft have out there who aren't necessarily available for all those incentives a CSP or cloud solutions partner might receive. So if you're an unmanaged partner, you still have the opportunity of taking advantage of the CSP model through a partner like SherWeb and leveraging all of the support and value-based solutions that we can bring to you to help you build out your cloud practice. So it's really leveling the playing field now for all kinds of partners to be able to take the complete suite of Microsoft services to market in a true resale model. So let's just look at some different models here that we kind of touched on. So there's certainly the Microsoft, if you look at the Tier 1 Direct, Microsoft obviously is the beginning of that model. And they're extending out their reach to certain strategic partners that are CSPs that will go direct to their end customers. Okay, those are partners that probably have direct engagements with Microsoft, and they're going to service their end customers. Now, the Tier 2 model, which is where SherWeb is certainly well positioned and wants to help resellers, Microsoft has added the cloud solution provider distributors to go to resellers, IT consultants, MSPs to offer these services and help enable them for their customers. So two different alternatives. And, I would, unless you're part of the Tier 1 direct model of Microsoft or a managed partner, you're going to probably fall into that indirect model where you're going to work with a Tier 2 CSP like a SherWeb to offer these services to enable you to resell the complete Microsoft solution set to your end customers. So, just another final piece of, data here. This is something that's been in the works for a while. I think as you've looked across how Microsoft has gone to market and been selling these services, Advisor is still going to be part of the equation, but it's not really going to be the core, as now the model is kind of shifting for partners to drive services and profitability through not only the Microsoft stack of services, but also value-added services that they can put on themselves. So that could be things ranging from migration services, project training, project-based services, other managed services that you have in your portfolio, or probably the most lucrative kind of services that you could be, again, adding a look at here is around your own intellectual property. So dropping in your own IP that could then play nicely with what you're already selling with the Microsoft solution set. So moving forward, what we're going to be seeing is that Microsoft clearly wants to transfer a lot of the existing advisor business through CSP. Those sales incentives are going to steadily dropped in 2017. And then as advisors, what is going to be some options for you to continue to sell services and maintain profitability as, your commissions have dropped dramatically from the original CSP offering. So what do you need to think about as you look at CSP as a business option? There's a lot of things that you should really begin to think about on what kind of model you want to support when you're offering services in the cloud. So one of the first things, we like to help partners with is can you support Office 365 Azure, or what is now Dynamics 365, 24/7 365? Can you deliver that level of support to your customers? Is that something you have to develop from scratch, or can you partner with somebody to deliver that? Do you have the ability to transfer or migrate new clients to Office 365 or Azure or Dynamics CRM? Do you have that capability native to your business, or that's, again, something that you have to look to build out or partner with somebody on? Can you commit a large amount to Microsoft on a regular basis, or is that something that you just can't, you won't be able to, you don't want to do, and you'd rather work with a tier 2 provider? And then the last part to really consider is how you're going to provision and bill those services, and who's going to do this. So it's not a trivial matter, being a born-in-the-cloud company. I could say a key component of what SherWeb has always thought about doing for its partners and customers is ensuring that provisioning and billing is fully integrated across a variety of platforms and services. So being able to do that seamlessly or use another tool for that is really important to your cloud business, to be able to have that as part of your portfolio. Because if you don't have these things, then it becomes, well, how much will it cost for you to develop this expertise? What's the opportunity you're missing out on while you focus on this maybe and instead of other aspects of your business that you may be really core to what you're doing? How long will it take you to do this? Is it really strategic for you to develop a provisioning console or develop a help desk, or are you set up to be a different kind of organization? So these are all kinds of things you need to consider as you begin looking at CSP and wanting to go to market, because I know, from working with many partners, some of them really just want to look at being sales engines. They just want to focus on selling and maybe owning that relationship, but they don't have that expertise around building out support. So these are the kinds of things you need to look at your own business as to how you want to get to market as part of CSP and as part of offering cloud services. So at this time, let's pause briefly to answer another question, if you don't mind. So I'd like to ask everybody on the call is, when you look at Microsoft's online services, whether it be Office 365, Dynamics, Azure, what is the biggest challenge you see in reselling these kinds of services? So if you wouldn't mind just looking at this and taking a quick moment to answer, that would be fantastic. So I'll sit tight and let you all have an answer here.
Hey, Anthony, while the folks are answering that question, a question did come in just as you were wrapping up that previous slide there. A question came in about asking, did you say that SherWeb does the billing? So maybe while people are voting on this, you can respond to that. Does SherWeb do the billing?
Yeah, great question. So regarding billing, there's, we have a couple of different partner options, and we'll share those here at the end. But to answer the question briefly up front here, SherWeb has one of its models can absolutely do the billing direct either to your end customers, if that's something you don't want to do and be involved with, or we do a model where we just bill our partners directly, and they take that bill and process it from our portal, pull that information, and bill their customers directly for. So there's really two options that SherWeb can help you with, either billing directly or billing you as a partner and having you extend that billing out to your customer. So great question, and we'll touch on that here a little bit more later.
Great, thank you.
All right. Yeah. All right. So we've got some responses back, and it looks like on this one, interestingly, the biggest challenge to offering the Microsoft services is around getting good recurring margins. Seems to be the one out front. There's a couple that aren't so sure, with a couple others mentioning around billing clients and supporting them. But the larger number one is around recurring margins with the Microsoft product. So I think we'll kind of address some of that later, but thanks for your response on that one. And good feedback for us. Appreciate it. All right, so what we want to do is kind of pivot here a little bit and talk about some tactics that we see successful partners utilize to maximize their profits as they transition from advisor to a new model within CSP. So we're going to dig into that a little bit. And so for one, some real easy tactics that we help employ and our partners take advantage of are, first off, migration services. Second, integration in Office 365. And then third, utilizing existing support systems that may be in place. And then the last one, which we're kind of threw in there as a bonus, and we'll talk a little bit about later, is really taking advantage of different vendors' incentives that are in place that you can use to maximize the amount of money you make on particular opportunities. So we're going to talk a little bit about each of these: migration, integration, support, and vendor incentives. So first one here is around complete migration services. So I noticed a lot from the recent poll I asked, there was, migration services seems like something a lot of you do very well. But one of the things we see and can help partners with is freeing them up from doing some of the, what I would call basic tasks or grunt work of migration, and including that in an offer for them. That's really essentially giving them free migration from an experienced team with all the tools that they're comfortable with, that they can then, as a partner, go out and sell at 100% margin. Okay, so this is a great way to increase that amount of money you're making on a customer if you're partnering with somebody that's doing these migration services for you and providing the tools, providing you what I like to think of as really augmenting your team with experienced support and migration consultants, so you can focus on more revenue generating, higher value revenue generating kind of consulting for your partners, and then turn over the migration services to a partner to do that. So a great way of maximizing profitability with Office 365, certainly Azure, certainly with Dynamics, is then having this kind of component available to you. Next up is you really want to have integration into Office 365. Now, Office 365 has some great admin, and Azure has some great admin capabilities and features, but from being able to license and provision and bill and simply transfer existing clients from your advisor program currently, you want to have full automation and integration with Microsoft Office 365 for that. One of the big things we hear a lot from partners is that when you've got the ability to instantly provision or change the license count, maybe add 3 E3 plans to a customer and have them instantly be added without any extra work, or being able to do that from one screen and have that be automatically reflected in the billing, it's just a huge amount of time and effort that can be saved for you as the partner. And so again, when you're saving time, when your time is freed up, again, it allows you to focus on things where they're more value added, less out of the weeds around doing these kinds of things that are now fully automated for you with complete integration. So again, it's going to greatly simplify how you service your customers, and again, free you up to do things that are more critical to your business, and also, again, generating revenue from your customers. So you want to look for full integration of these services into an easy-to-use portal, easy-to-use set of systems that you can then manage your customers from. So along with that, you want to be able to easily extract existing customers that you have as advisors and transfer them over to a new platform. Now, one of the things, because so much of our business is around getting customers to transfer and their partners to transfer over, we have built a great tool that integrates into Office 365, enabling this kind of transfer process. So if you think of all of those existing Office 365 customers that you have as advisor and you're looking to move them to a new location, you want that to be a seamless transfer that doesn't impact the customer's business. It doesn't require you to have really any time to do it. You want to be able to leverage other people maybe to do this for you. And so it should just be a seamless transfer. So again, to help free up time, make more money off of your customers. So what I'd like to show you here is a demo of our import tool for customers who are transferring their advisor customers to Office 365 through SherWeb. So let me just click on here. I'm going to show you this video. It's about a minute long.
Welcome. We've created a new import tool to help you move your Office 365 customers to SherWeb CSP. You can access this tool in your SherWeb Partner Portal. Click on the Organizations menu. Then click on Import from Office 365. This loads the import tool. Once there, you have to upload the Excel file that contains your customers and their subscriptions. You can get this file from your Microsoft Partner Dashboard. Once you've uploaded the file, you'll be able to see all your customers listed along with their domains and subscriptions. Your customer list is sorted according to their subscription renewal dates. Let's get started. For each customer, select which subscriptions you want to transfer. What if you decide you don't want the last one? Just remove the check mark. You can start the transfer process by clicking on the Start button with the envelope icon. You can send an email invite to the customer that contains a link to the CSP authorization page. However, let's say this customer has given me access to his Office 365 account to do the transfer for him. I'll click on the Skip This link. Have you seen how it works? The customer has now moved to the Import Follow-up tab. Let's go to the Import Follow-up tab. Next, click on Link to the CSP Agreement and log in with your customer's Office 365 credentials. Follow the instructions to authorize SherWeb as your CSP. This process isn't shown in the demo. Click on the Validate button under Authorize CSP. This confirms your customer's authorization. Now the customer is ready to be provisioned, along with his subscriptions, in the SherWeb Partner Portal. Let's do that by clicking on the Provision button under Provision Products. After a few seconds, we can see the subscriptions are now marked as imported, except the last one. This is the one we previously unchecked before starting the transfer. Also, if you look at the customer name, you'll see it's now a clickable link. Clicking the link brings you directly to your new organization. You can leave the Partner Portal now. Go to the Office 365 Admin Portal and cancel all your customers' former subscriptions. This is so he won't be billed twice for the same services. That sums it up. Thanks for watching.
Okay, hey, apologies there. It sounded like some of you couldn't hear that, but we'll make sure you have a copy of that video here. We, Simon, maybe if you wouldn't mind putting it in the chat, in the questions box or the chat section there. But what ideally you saw from that is that a real simple tool to manage all of your transfers in a single location with a team of support experts behind the scenes available to you if needed to help you with that transfer process, and then also making it fully according to your time, and really easy to use if you're familiar with integration type services like that. So we've really worked hard to simplify how that would work for our partners. So again, there's no impact to certainly the customer's business, and then certainly that transfer would be done again very quickly, seamlessly, with full support behind the scenes as needed. So Simon put a copy of the video. Thanks, Simon, in the questions in the chat box. So you have that to watch later and to refer back to. So moving right along here, we've talked about migration, we've talked about integration and provisioning. Let's talk about how you could utilize existing support systems that are there. Again, it goes back to what can you as your company invest in to build out, versus take advantage of what's available. So what we've done at SherWeb is we've kind of looked at, there's different models that partners like to work with. One might be a co-branded model where the partner is very comfortable with sharing who they've partnered with. They've gone out and done the due diligence, and they want to share that with the partner and co-brand that. Another model might be everything is under your brand as a partner. It's completely white labeled. There's no mention of who you're working with, and that goes for everything related to collateral, to support people, to everything is tied back to your company. And then the last one might be around more of a gray label option. So as a partner, as someone who's looking at different options here to go to market, it's key to really look at being able to ensure you have different options when you want to go to market, and how that support's going to come, and how when they call in support, it's going to be of the highest quality. It's going to be people who are answering the questions, not only potentially for your customers, but also for you, if needed, at the highest caliber level. They're going to have the most highly accredited Microsoft credentials. They're going to have certifications that are important. So to me, all of the, similarly to, as I mentioned, around migration, it's all about, think of this as just augmenting your team. These become members of your team as you're out there introducing these services to your customers. You should feel confident, just as you do in your own employees, that the partner you have behind you in these support systems is just as qualified and you feel just as confident with. So the last piece, the bonus one we talked about, was really around leveraging the different vendors' incentives. So how do you take advantage and maximize their programs that they have in place to make sure you can sell the most and be the most productive and get the best support for your customers. So at SherWeb, we've got 3 different models that we offer our partners, and partners can focus on just one, or we have partners that may employ all 3 models depending on the customers they have, maybe the size of the customer, the vertical they're in. So if we work from left to right in our reseller model, pure white label model, partner owns the customers, the pricing, the billing, it's their brand. We support the clients. You support the clients, we support you 100%. And then we're providing you a discount off of the Microsoft pricing to go to market as a wholesale price that you can then bundle in and package into your own service offerings. And I can tell you the most successful partners are the ones who aren't necessarily just selling a mailbox, say by Office 365. They're taking the Office 365 solution set and building bundles around that combine their managed services, their support, their migration capabilities, their consulting, their training into a compelling package versus just selling a business essentials mailbox. The middle model is what we refer to as distributor or co-branded. And in this model, it's similar in that it's your customers, your pricing, and your billing. But maybe in this case, you don't have the support expertise. You don't have that 24/7, 365 help desk. You're okay with your customers calling into a trusted partner to handle all of your support capabilities. So in this case, SherWeb steps in, provides that world-class support to your customers at no additional charge. And maybe over time, you transition your business where you're full-on white label. But maybe out of the gate, you don't want to have that support 24/7 or don't have that capability. In that model here, you're also getting wholesale prices from us, and again, marking that up and bundling it and building packages that are interesting to your customers and services. So for all of these programs that I'm talking about, there are no fees. There are no charges to our partners to do this. There's no cost to become a partner. The last model that we have here is, we call it an advisor, and it's really a referral model. And in this model here, maybe you don't want to do the support and billing, but you're a great sales company. You've got great customers that you want to refer in. and you want to bring them over, and you want to leverage your partner's brand, and you want to lean on the partner to own that customer support and billing. So in this one, we've got a really interesting model here in place that we have where it's a commission-based model. You get a great commission one time up front and then also an ongoing commission for just selling new business. And all of these different partner options are all managed from our partner portal that we call Cumulus, which also extends out to your customers for easy management across the board. So some great options, and as I said, it's real easy for you to take advantage of just one of these or maybe leverage separate ones or evolve over time as your business changes. So we've got some really great incentives going on. So going back to taking advantage of what partners' incentives in place, because of the standing and our, how we work with Microsoft, we're able to really lean on them and take advantage of not only things that we can bring to market as far as promotions and incentives, but some great things from Microsoft. So the first promotion I want to talk about is a straight-on cashback incentive that we have in place right now. It was scheduled to end November 30th. We've extended it and are making it available for the people who are attending this event through Channel Pro, making it through December 31st. And basically what this does is you can receive up to $10 cash back per each mailbox or user that you bring over with Office 365. So for business and enterprise plans, you can get cash back. So if you've got 100 E3 plans, that's $1,000 cash back for you as part of this offering. So if you think back to that simple transfer process that we showed you, take advantage of that, transfer those customers over, take advantage and get some great cash back off of that from SherWeb. The other incentive we have, we know many of you obviously are Microsoft Advisor partners, and maybe you're at a point where you're not quite ready to jump into a full-on resale CSP type engagement model, and we want to be able to support you in that case. So if you've already got those advisor customers out there that you're getting that 3% commission on, transfer those customers over to us using that import tool we talked about earlier. And on year one, we'll pay you a 15% commission on all your advisor seats that you bring over. So for each advisor customer, it'll be 15% commission on the monthly reoccurring for year one. Year two, it'll shift to 5%. Maybe at year two, you want to just keep rolling with that, or maybe your business has matured or changed enough that you want to go into more of a CSP resale model, and you could certainly then transfer your customers to that with SherWeb under your own brand. What's also important to note here is there's no billing amount change to your customers on this offer either. So their billing would stay the same. There would be no change to how they're charged. The difference would be is the billing would come to from SherWeb. Their credit card we would be billing their credit card just as Microsoft is today, and then we would be doing their support, which we are very confident in would be a much better support experience than if you would what they're used to getting from Microsoft. Because clearly, if you kind of look at how Microsoft is working here today with the change of advisors and the creation of a CSP program, they're looking to offload a lot of those support requests. They don't want to handle direct customers. We at SherWeb, we've built our business around being able to support a large number of customers well through our infrastructure and our support processes. So we think that would be a win-win for not only you for getting some great, increasing your 3% to 15% your commission, but your customers would also get a great level of service as part of that. We can help you not only with the becoming a CSP with SherWeb, but we can certainly help you communicate this out to your customers as well, because we recognize that there is you are having to let them know that you're going to be partnering with somebody, and we've got some great tools in place not only to do the imports for you, but also to communicate that out to your customers. So really exciting 4 things. We talked about migration, the infrastructure, the support aspects of it, and then certainly taking advantage of promotions and incentives and being sure that your partner is really doing those things for you. So with that, I'd like to kind of open up for some questions and Q&A, but I'd also like to point out to you some key things on the right. Be sure to register for the promo if you, as you're interested. We'll be sending out some follow-up information. There's also the link there. It's easy to become a partner. There's no cost. There's no charge. Or just send us an email or contact us directly at partner@sherweb.com or call into us, and we'd be happy to answer any questions. So with that, I'm going to open up the floor for some questions and see what you all may want to know in addition to what we've covered here today. So, Michael?
Hey, great, Anthony. A lot of great information there. Really appreciate you taking the time to detail all of that. We certainly have a bunch of questions came in. And, all right, so here we go with them. So someone asks, can I also resell Office 365 for some clients and refer others to SherWeb Advisor program?
Yeah, no, great question. And just as I mentioned here a short while ago when we talked about the different programs, you have the ability of really choosing any mix of programs at SherWeb to partner with us on. So maybe you want to have that maybe that larger customer you have, maybe you don't want to take on the support of that customer, so maybe you just want to have them be an advisor, and you can recognize that great promotion we have in place with 15% year one, or maybe you just want to resell your customers and have a mix. So you can blend the plans however you'd like and whatever makes most sense for your business.
Excellent, excellent. And I apologize if some of these questions you had already sort of touched on in some way or another, but I think some of these are really good points, so they're worth repeating again, Anthony.
Yeah,
next
excellent.
One is about transferring existing and new customers. How do we transfer existing and new customers?
Yeah, so that transfer process has really become a really important part of what we became a CSP partner with, as Microsoft. We wanted to make it as easy as possible for new partners to transfer their advisor business, either to us or become a CSP with us. So we have, not only the import tool that we talked about, which greatly simplifies this for you. We also have we bring our support teams and engage with you directly to walk you through this to ensure that all the right buttons are clicked on not only on the Office 365 side regarding the billing information, but also managing our tool with you as needed. And then from that, you certainly are engaged with an account manager to walk you through that process to do that. So the transfer process is really important. And what's probably the key thing to recognize is your customer's business is not impacted at all. So this is just a tenant transfer within Microsoft. No impact to their mail flow or the services they're using. It's really just a billing change, and you, as a partner, you still maintain that partner of record information. You still are able to recognize all the Microsoft benefits you enjoy from that partner of record. So whether those certifications and incentives you receive from Microsoft, that still all just flows through you, just as it normally would. So you don't lose out on any of those things. So certainly welcome the opportunity to do those transfers and make them as easy as possible for you and your customers.
Okay, and here's another related question to that. Do my customers' Office 365 prices change?
Okay, yeah, so regarding pricing with Office 365, if you're moving over your existing advisor customers, there is no change in their pricing. So when they become a SherWeb customer and we're paying you that 15% year one, their pricing is going to remain the same. Now, if you're moving over and transferring your CSP and want to move to a CSP model as a reseller or distributor option, SherWeb is going to provide you a wholesale price that's below Microsoft list price that you can then in turn mark up and make the same as Microsoft, or you can, as we talked about, add your own services, add more margin on top of that because you are reselling and packaging and bundling those services. So you control that end customer price. So our price to you will remain below the Microsoft pricing in that model, but you can set the price for your customers.
Okay, great. Next question. In your experience, what end customer feedback can we expect when asking them to move under the CSP?
Oh, good question. All right. Well, what I've done and what I've seen successful with the best partners is they do a good job of communicating this change to their customers, how they're either going to be selling these services directly to them or partnering with somebody to do that. And what I've really seen is the customer feedback is they're used to dealing with the partner already. They're very comfortable dealing with the partner at a lot of different levels. So this adjustment to them is really just bringing the partner closer to them, and really makes them closer. So I think, the partner, it's really key is for the partner to communicate how this is going to greatly improve the level of support and relationship they're going to have versus just working with a large vendor, a large software company like Microsoft, who's really, builds great products, but is not going to be able to get really close and work with them as close as a partner like they can, and along with us, could deliver. So the feedback we get is, has been really positive in this. Again, it's just all about improving the customer relationship that you can have as a partner because of the resale of these services.
Excellent. All right, Anthony, I'm just scrolling back through. I believe we covered all the questions directly. As we just take a minute to wrap up, would you mind putting us back to slide 26, where you had a bunch of the promotions that were on there? And I don't know if you want to touch on any of that again. I mean, you gave a very thorough thing before, but as we wrap up, I just wanted people to be able to see some of those specials. Do you want to highlight any of this anymore? Yeah,
real quick. Again, we welcome the opportunity for the folks who are on, who have attended today. We've extended a cashback promotion we're currently running. We've extended it through the end of the year. So if you're looking at getting into reselling the Office 365 services and you want to get a very lucrative cashback opportunity, take advantage of cashback opportunity, check this promotion out. Again, it's $5 or $10 depending on the plans you're using. So as I said earlier, if you're an E3, you have a lot of, like say, 100 E3 custom licenses. You transfer those over, work with us. That's $1,000 cash back for you. Alternatively, if you're an advisor partner and maybe you're not ready to jump in full force into the CSP offering, but you still want to make money off as an advisor, we have a great program where we'll pay you 15% commission on year one. So that's a really big leap up from 3% you're getting from Microsoft. Your customers will get the same price. You get a great, far better commission. SherWeb takes on the billing and support responsibilities, and we'll help you with that communication and certainly with that import process that we showed you with our tools. So some great incentives in place on top of, you just, diving into the Office 365, Azure, Dynamics 365 services offering. So we welcome the opportunity to work with you. And here's the last thing I'll show is just, again, register for that promo, become a partner. It's no risk. Will contact us. I know there's a lot of questions and things coming in. We'd be happy to walk you through our expertise to help you out.
Anthony, thank you very, very much. All right, looks like we also, all the rest of the questions were covered. We will, as I mentioned at the top, we will be sending out some follow-up information to everybody who is part of the webinar with these details too. Anthony Graziano, I want to, on behalf of everybody here at Channel Pro, I want to thank you very much for taking the time today to walk us through this webinar. Also want to thank all of our attendees today. We had a great turnout. Everybody hung in there to the end. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And we are going to sign things off here, but I want to wish you all a very, very happy holiday season, and I hope you get a little bit of rest here before you take advantage of really trying to grow your business with some of these opportunities in the new year. So this is Michael Siggins from the Channel Pro team. Anthony, thank you very, very much. We are going to just shut it down now, but I want to thank you for your time today, Anthony.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and appreciate everyone's joining us today.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye now.